Yo, what's going on? Yeah, man, it's episode 196. Goddamn. We've been potting. This is the 196th time. You know what it is, man. I am your host, Big Brandon Carter. We got a lot we want to cover today, man. We're going to talk about how we can help you build your money, muscle, and mindset. Let's start the show. Yeah. Hell yeah. Welcome to another episode of that Victory Talk podcast. I am your host, Big Brandon Carter, BBC, King Keto, the King of Ketosis, Gymnasium Jesus, and I'm joined by the best producer in the game, the homie Nemo. What up, man?
Super excited.
Straight out of Iran. Straight. Come on, man. Let's go, man. I was lucky I was able to get Nemo before the tariffs kicked in. He'd have been like 30% more. But it got him into America before them tariffs stopped, man. You know
Probably banned products.
Yeah, nah, man. It gets expensive after them 90 days is up. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of importing goods, we're also joined by my girlfriend. You know what it is. She's Dominicana from the Dominican Republic. Well, she's really from the Lower East Side of New York, man. But her lineage is Dominicana. You know what I'm saying? So lucky I scooped her up before the tariffs kicked in. I don't know what the tariffs is on Dominican titties. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what kind of tariffs Trump put on Dominican ass. But I got mine before they kicked in. I know that's right. You know what I'm saying? I got mine during the Biden administration. But now who knows, man? Who knows what's going on? That's why you got to get your money right, because Dominican titties are going up because of the tariffs. That's why you got to get your money right. Luckily, you're in the right spot, because this is all we talk about here at the Victory Talk podcast. Tariff free, yeah, because it's American made product. You know what I'm saying? You will see. All right, we're going to talk about how you can build your money, muscle, and mindset. Episode 196. Yo, Nima. Yo, we got a sponsor.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow. After 196.
Yeah, we got sponsors. So the first sponsor is, is the newsletter Big Money Methods. All right, this is the newsletter written by me and the homies. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about methods to give you big money. What you want to do is click the link in the description, put your motherfucking email in here, then hit subscribe. All right. And then twice a week, you're going to get sent articles on how to make big money written by me. You know what I'm saying? Your fearless leader. And then the homie Chris is one of my top salespeople, man. One of my top students as well. He's a G, right? He's the man. And then also Scene. One of our top copywriters, he be writing shit too, man. And to get the three of us, we together, man, we put together this newsletter, man. Y'all should really fuck with it. Like straight up, like right now. Go, just sign up, man. You'll love it. I promise you. And we ain't selling you nothing. We ain't pushing nothing. We're just giving you free game, man. Free game. All right. Yo, we also on the other sponsor is Thought Repellent. Thought Repellent is the easy to apply spray to keep the hose away. All right. Easy to apply spray to keep the hose away. Now, we got all the raw ingredients for this before the tariffs kicked in. All right. It's in our warehouse, as in our Thought Repellent warehouse. All right. So there's that, right? Because basically this is a spray you spray on yourself. And, regular women, they smell you and they be like, man, you smell good. But thoughts, when they smell it, they might go into a seizure. You know what I'm saying? They might start tweaking the shit, So you want to make sure you spray this before you go outside, man. Otherwise, the fucking thoughts will hit you, man. You see what's happening to these, but it's like every day another guy falls victim to the thoughts. Motherfucking Shannon Sharp. You fell victim to the thoughts. Yo, did y'all see that clip real quick? Did y'all see that clip of when it was one of them Sanders boys? He was with his dad, and then his mama came through with his sister, and Dion just straight ignored that bitch. And I was wondering why. And then I looked into it. This bitch tried to jump him. She brought some bitches over to the crib and tried to whip his ass. Deion Sanders, when they were getting divorced. Then she tried to sue him for $200 million. She tried to sue him for $200 million. God damn. She failed each one of those endeavors, but I'm just saying. Now he still got to deal with this bitch. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay if I call her bitch because Dion don't even like her. You see? You know what I'm saying? And this is what happens, man. Tom Brady got cheated on by his wife. She fucked the karate teacher. And he had to pay her child support and alimony. Imagine a bitch sucking karate dick. She out here sucking kung fu dick. And then you got to pay her. That's what happens. That's why you need thought repellent, man. That's why we put this together. All right. And we wanted to have it out because we don't want this to happen to you. We wanted to have this out by goddamn spring break. All right. We wanted to have it out by spring break, but we did not get enough super chats from y'all. Yeah, it's y'all fault, guys. It's y'all's fault. All right. Each one of your super chats goes toward the development of thought repellent. We want to get this out to the public by summertime, right? Because that's the thought breeding season, right? Because how many more men have to fall? How many more great men have to fall before we can get this out, man? Why are you preventing them? You got a super chat. You got to super chat more if you want. And they think we're joking, Nima. They don't believe it. Some of them don't believe it. They think it's like a running gag. Does this look like a joke to you?
This is as real as
this is like the joke. This is getting more real. This is the prototype. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, listen, we say from the thoughts, Nima and I. You know what I'm saying? But you, if they can get Shannon Sharp, they can get any of us. Yeah, you're gonna get Shannon Sharp. You're gonna catch a Shannon Sharp. All right, man. Hey, listen. All right, listen. We got a lot we want to cover today. And for the last, I don't know, fucking 3 weeks, I've been trying to finish the 21, what was it? The 21 dark secrets to sell anything. And I was going through like techniques I've learned from some of my favorite books and giving you examples of how I've used them in my life. We started with a book called The One Sentence Persuasion Formula. Then we went on to Influence by Robert. It's reverse. Okay. Influence by Robert. It was reverse, man. Like it's fucking with me. Influenced by Robert Cialdini, right? And I didn't get all the way through it, so we're gonna get through it right now. Let's go. Let's talk. Yo. Wait a minute. Before we get into this, I just gotta get someone. My girlfriend said that I like bash women. She was talking about me like I'm Myron. Do y'all think that, man? You know what I'm saying? I don't think so. Nima, do you think that? Let's hold on before we get into this. Do you think that? Am I a misogynist?
Why you're putting me in?
What'd you say? Am I a misogynist? Listen.
No matter what I answer, it's not going to end well for me.
It's not going well for you, man. Listen, it's not my fault, and it's not your fault either, man. Women ruin everything. I mean, that's not me saying it. That's like a religious thing. That's like in the Bible. That's how it starts. That's the beginning of the book. Like the beginning of the fucking shit. The chick was talking to a snake, fucking with the apples. Now look at us. Now look. That's in the Bible. That's in, unless y'all, yeah, man, baby, I'm just quoting the Bible. It's like, I don't know why she thinks I'm a misogynist. I don't know. I respect the bitches. Ask anyone. You know what I'm saying? I treat the hoes with nothing but respect. Anyway, all right, let's run the intro again. No, I'm not ready to get past this. Women ruin everything. Let's. Except my girlfriend, she's cool. My niece is cool. Other than that. Oh, my girlfriend's sister is cool. That's it. That's all I got. My sister, she's going to do what's in her best interest for sure. What's in society's best interest, a lot of times those things are in conflict. All right, let's start it again. I'm sorry. No, fuck this shit. She's mad at me. My girlfriend is telling me that I'm a messiah. I don't believe this shit. Chat, ask the chat. I need to know the chat. Does it seem like I hate the bitches or what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think. All right, you know what? Let's get into this. I don't want to keep doing this. Let's stop. All right, stop fucking around. Let's get serious. For real this time. What's she fucking type? We don't even know what that means, what she typed. This is why women get paid less. Right there. It's like they didn't want to blame it all on us. This bitch is writing fucking broken ass English. All right, Leo, let's start it one more time. Man, fuck this shit. It's not me. It's the hoes, man. Listen, guys. They will ruin your life if you let them. Look at all our heroes. Andrew Tate, how they get him? Hoes, right? Who else? We already talked about Shannon Sharp. Ryan who? The vampire guy? Who are you talking about? Oh, yeah. The dude, the Brian dude, you know what I'm saying? The motherfucker who want to live forever. His fucking girlfriend sued him for mad money. It happens all the time, man. Baseball player. Fucking every Marvel movie, the last 10 Marvel movies, they were great until after the second snap. Fucking what you got? She-Hulk. Miss Marvel. Is y'all fucking watching that shit? No. All right. You know what? But I'm gonna turn on a new leaf. I ain't gonna be misogynistic no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna treat the bitches with respect. Let's get to one more time for real. I'm gonna start the video this time. I'm gonna start the lesson. No, man, this is bullshit. These hoes will ruin everything. They're ruining my fucking podcast right now. All right, start this. All right, let's go. We're gonna really start this time. Enough games. Enough games. All right, so now we're gonna talk about the marketing shit. All right, so last time we were talking about Influence by Robert Cialdini, and I went through a few of the weapons of influence. Yo, this book is like the Bible to me. I'm telling you, man. Like I've read it no less than 100 times, and I know it sounds like cap, but I legit read that shit 100 times. Yeah, Will Smith too. Will Smith too. That's right. Will fucking Smith, man. This nigga was the man. Now look at him. All right, enough. I don't get it back into that shit. Mm-hmm. All right. So the next weapon of influence from the book Influence is social proof, right? So the core idea is that people have kind of like a hive mind. Basically, people want to do things more the more they see other people doing it. And we always, it's the way Cialdini described it was a shortcut to make decisions. In fact, I want you to think about a lot of marketing principles like this in general. The brain takes up a lot of resources to think. So the brain is always looking for shortcuts, right? The brain uses 20% of your body's energy at rest. So it goes through great lengths to not think hard. And sometimes it takes shortcuts. And one of the shortcuts it takes is social proof. For example, you've all done it. You go buy something on Amazon. What do you see? What do you look at first? The reviews. Am I right? You all look at the reviews, right? So how do you use this in your business? Well, first of all, you want to get a lot of great reviews. You want to get a lot of social proof, and your shit has to be good. No, that's the problem. Your shit has to be good. So I remember in 2014, I published a book, on Amazon called Ultimate Cut: 7 Secrets to Burn Fat Fast as Hell. All right. And you can see the reviews, right? 4.5 star average. There was a few haters in there, but most people loved it. It's like 2% of them are motherfucking haters. Fucking haters, or bitch niggas, right? You get 3,000 people together, 2% of them are bitch niggas. Makes sense, right? But it's overwhelmingly people fucked with it heavy, right? And this book now to do this, there's no trick to making something good enough that people will write these kind of reviews for, right? There's no trick to do that. The only thing you have to do is you have to make it really good. And I wrote this shit before AI was out, right? Like 10 years before AI was out. Y'all got ChatGPT. Y'all got Gemini. Y'all got Claude if you swing that way. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got Gronk. You know what I'm saying? You can use Gronk if you nasty, right? But I ain't had none of that shit. I was raw dogging literature right here. You know what I'm saying? I was raw dogging the written word, right? And this shit might have took years off my life and shit, right? Because it was super stressful, and it took a long time to write. Again, because I was hitting it raw, Microsoft Word, hitting it raw, no protection, and busting literary nuts on the page until I inseminated it. And then this baby came out. The book, Ultimate Cuts. You know what I'm saying? That was the baby that came when I made love to the written word. When I stuck my dick in the Microsoft Word. This what came out. And this baby came out and made me proud. It grew up into a daughter and made me proud, right? And then here's the thing, though. How did this help my business, right? So this book, I overpriced it now because I kind of don't want people to buy it anymore because it's like dated, right? You can still get it free if you got Kindle Unlimited, right? Or you can buy the Kindle version super cheap too, right? But anyway, I wasn't trying to make money off the book. I did make some money off the book, but I wasn't trying to. I priced it the cheapest Amazon would let me price it on Kindle, right? But the key was in the book, I talked about a fat burning supplement we had called T-Rex back when I had my supplement line. And the first week this book came out, we fucking sold out of that shit because the book was good, right? And it was good information in there, right? And we sold out. We sold out of the supplement, and that's what really helped me take. This was really the thing that kind of helped me take my supplement brand to the next level. Was this book, right? It was a kind of a Trojan horse, if you will, right? You know what I'm saying? Whereas, like, I snuck some marketing into the book, right? And it worked out really well. But the social proof, and there was a time. I'm telling you, there was a time. Not anymore, but if you type burn fat on Amazon, this will come up on the first page, right? And that was by design as well, right? But I made sure it was good, right? So that's what you want to do with anything you have, right? You want to really go out of your way to get social proof and to get referrals, right? I'm telling you, people have a hive mind, you know? You guys have seen this, right? If any of you guys ever had girlfriends, you noticed it. Like women start liking you more once you have a girlfriend. Nima, you know what I'm talking about? Nah, he don't know. He's saying no. He's like, girls? There's other girls in Miami? I heard about it, but I ain't seen them. Nah, I feel you, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like he don't even notice them, that they exist. Straight up, you know? But like girls like you, it's like a flaw in the design, you know? God made women pretty much perfect. Except for the one mistake, you know. But it's not this work, you know. It works that with everyone. It works that way. I digress. You know what? Never mind. Let me chill. So, and that's why, guys, if you do, you know, it works like in business. It works in all areas of life. If you have a good friend group, or people ask you, hey man, how's this dude? And, you know, whatever, people refer you friends, right? But if people are always talking shit about you, then it would be difficult to make even friends. Like it works like this with everything. You definitely need to get the social proof popping, right? And the better you have it, the more, the easier it would be for you to sell things when it's social proof. Even with my business now, let me see if I can show you. No, I'm not gonna show you. And my business, High Ticket Trainer, where I teach people how to grow their online fitness business, the main way that I promote it is just testimonials from my successful students, right? So testimonials are a good way. Reviews, testimonials, and just word of mouth. That's really the best marketing because that does the sales for you. You don't have to convince anyone of anything, all right? All right. All right. What's up? Yeah, man. Anybody talking crazy? Yeah. You know the band. Oh, all right. That's fine. All right. So the next the next weapon of influence by Robert Cialdini to help you sell more is liking. So people have to like you or like your business in order to do business with you, right? People want to, people have to like you or like your business in order to make purchases, right? If they don't like you or they don't like your business, even if your product is good, they won't fuck with it. Let me give you an example of the opposite of this, right? Tesla's market share has been plummeting all year, right? But who were the main people buying Teslas, right? Fucking liberals, right? Liberals, Democrats and shit, right? Because those are the people who want to save the environment, right? Like most conservatives, they don't really fuck with climate change at all, right? so they don't even believe in that shit, right? Who believes in that shit? Liberals, right? So Teslas were pretty much primarily bought by liberals, right? Then Elon came out supporting Eli, the CEO of Tesla, right? He came out in support of Donald Trump. He was wearing the MAGA hat, jumping up and down. He did a few Nazi salutes. And those weren't exactly in line. Those weren't exactly in line with, you know, what his core market believed in. So what happened? People stopped buying Teslas, right? The Cybertruck is doing so bad now that the resale value sucks. I mean, the resale value of the Cybertrucks is so bad that Tesla won't even take them in for trade-ins. Tesla won't take in its own car for a trade-in. You get what I'm saying? Like that's how bad it is, right? Because he flipped the whole ideology of the brand, right? The brand was all these liberals who want to save the planet. That's why they drive in a fucking electric vehicle, right? Like everybody I know who's almost all the people I know who have Teslas are fucking vegans or some shit like that, right? And those people traditionally aren't MAGA supporters in general. I'm sure there's exceptions, right? So he really fucked up the brand, and that's why you see the stock basically plummeting all year ever since he's been fucking with the homie Trump. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I just want to illustrate that your product can be really good, but if people don't like you, they're not going to fuck with it, right? The car didn't change. The car did not change. It's the exact same ugly fucking car that looks like a goddamn futuristic Lego machine, right? It looks like a big ass silver toolbox. The Tesla, the Cybertruck, it's the same shit. People fucked with it before, right? But they don't fuck with it now. The only thing that changed was the branding around the CEO, right? People are not the same people who used to look at Tesla as aspirational or saving the planet. They're fucking bombing that shit. Like the same motherfuckers who would have did it. They're bombing Tesla dealerships, fucking up Tesla Cybertruck cars. Liberals are putting bumper stickers on their Cybertruck saying, I bought this before Elon went crazy, right? And I think the brand is going to go, you know, even I think the brand is going to fall even more unless they really do something to change. I don't know no conservatives who fuck with electric vehicles super hard. You know, the most conservative guys I know, their ideal car is like maybe a tank or a monster truck. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a fucking helicopter from Rambo that he shoots a machine gun after. That's his ideal. That's his preferred form of transportation, not a motherfucking electric vehicle, right? But all right. So how do we use this to our benefit, right? Well, what I tell my students to do, the people I train in businesses, to think about who your target market is, think about their dreams, their hopes and aspirations, and become the embodiment of it. Like become the embodiment of your target market's dreams and aspirations, right? And how I did that when I was first starting my online fitness business is I was focusing on my target market, which was young men, pause, no Diddy, right? So I was focusing on no young men, no Diddy. That's who was my target market. So what I did was I thought, okay, a guy who's like between the ages of 25 and a guy who's in between the age of 20 to 30, what's he into? All right, what does he really want? What he really wanted is motherfucking girls, right? In fact, a guy that age is difficult for him to think of anything but girls, right? So in almost all my videos, I had some girls that I knew in it. I put girls in the video, not to be inclusive or to include women in it, or like this is a motherfucking Marvel movie or some shit. No, it was to attract the dudes. Pause. It was like a subtle thing, like, oh, I wanted them to look at me and be like, oh, this guy is living the life I want, right? He's ripped, he's in shape, he's got some bread, and he's got beautiful women around him consistently all the time, right? And I knew that's what my target market wanted, right? So when I embodied that, you know, at least from a marketing perspective, People started to like it, and I didn't even have to make like crazy claims about the product because they liked it. If you do this well enough, the product doesn't even have to be as good. It can suck a little bit, but if they like you, if they like you or your brand, the product doesn't have to be as good. You know what I'm saying? It can be some regular shit, and it can be fine. Like when I had a supplement company, we weren't fucking changing the game. We weren't inventing new compounds. We had good formulas. I put together good formulas and it tastes good. But you could find shit in GNC that was competitive or like around the same quality. You probably find some shit that was better. I'm gonna be honest with you, because the bigger companies, they can afford they had more resources than me. I was just a fucking dude in Queens trying to make it happen, right? But what I had was I built a brand, so people would buy shit that was the same or maybe even inferior, right? To like you could have bought some better shit. I'm sure that it wasn't the best in the world. It was really good, but there was something else behind it, right? And you know what? I don't want to say there was nothing better. It was competitive with anything else. But it wasn't like way better than anything, right? But the marketing was way better. Does that make sense? The marketing was way better, so they started to like it more. And for example, Kylie Jenner became a millionaire off this. Kylie Jenner became a billionaire off the same shit, right? My girl, she got some Kylie Jenner makeup and shit, and I was like, yo, is this shit like way better than Revlon or Maybelline or the other shit? And she was like, nah, it's pretty much the same. And I was like, oh fuck. And this chick became a billionaire. Why buy it from this chick as opposed to CVS, where you can get the Revlon and all this shit, right? Because they like her, right? Same shit with Rihanna. Like the shit ain't like super different than the other shit. You can buy competitive products probably for less, right? But people like Rihanna. You know what I'm saying? Liking is a super important when it comes to marketing. Liking is super important when it comes to liking is super important when it comes to marketing. The more they like you, the easier it is to sell to them, right? I'm not saying you can't sell them some bullshit. One caveat, it's got to be good. Like this has to be a threshold of quality. You can't sell them no bullshit because then they will like you less. But as long as it's fucking adequate, as long as it's competitive with the other shit in the marketplace, right? You have an advantage if people like you more. And you have a strong disadvantage if people like you less. Look at Tesla. Tesla's a perfect example, man. People don't fuck with them anymore. And that was one of the reasons I started. Soon as Elon did the Nazi salute, I was like, yup, let me buy some puts on Tesla stock. Let me buy some puts on it. And that worked out well for me because I understand the marketing behind it, Hey, speaking of which, we're going to take a break from talking about this marketing and talk about the market, talk about getting some of this money. You know what I'm saying? We're going to bring in the homie Young Candles to talk about the market update. Yo, what up, man? Young Candlestick. What's popping, homie?
What's up, Brandon? What's up, Victinators?
Yeah, you know what it is.
The market's in no man's land, and I'm here to help you navigate it. So
man, please.
I'm going to break down the overall market. I'm going to break down some key stocks, and then I'm going to go over some trade ideas. Sound good?
Okay, let's get it, man.
All right, so S&P 500 is just kind of grinding up. It was up 0.63%. Technically, it did make a higher high, though, in the sequence. So we have a low, a high, a higher low, and we do have a tiny little uptrend, a higher high at this point in time. But what it's waiting on is there's a big GDP report 1 hour before market opens. So that's like 9:30 a.m. Eastern. And
tomorrow?
Tomorrow. I think the market can either explode higher or explode lower from that.
Before the market opens?
Before the market opens.
So wouldn't that be 8:30? I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. So yeah, it would be 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central.
All right. I just want to make sure. I mean, I thought I was fucking up.
It's awaiting the GDP report, and then there's also going to be big cap tech earnings, and then there's also going to be a labor report. So basically, swing trading is much riskier than normal right now. Day trading, in my opinion, is actually less risky if you're used to day trading. Okay, So
Yeah.
we want to figure out where the market's going to head. We want to look at our leading indicators. And what are the leading indicators? Well, we can take a look at IWM, Russell 2000. It's really lagging. I've actually started to build a bit of a short position on the IWM. You can actually see one of my positions right here. It's on the RUT, and this is the Russell Index. Basically,
before, hold on. If you guys have any questions for Greg about any stocks or an investment shit, you can leave the super chat. He'll answer the super chats. You know what I'm saying? We get into it. All right, let's go.
Get some professional market analysis from a chartered market technician.
I'm
also going to be taking my Series 65 securities law examination on Thursday. And that's a big deal.
Really?
A lot of fun.
This is a 65? All right.
It's a really comprehensive test. I have a lot of respect for anybody who is an investment advisor.
Yeah, no, let's get it.
So basically what I'm looking at right here on the Russell is I think that since it's going up on such low volume, that's a big key. Markets are rallying. Look at the volume. It's trash. Like, look, just there's not a lot of participation. There's not a lot of commitment to the upside. And generally low volume rallies tend to drop hard. Does it have to drop? No. Volume can come on the bullish side too. That's why we're in no man's land. The market's at a big pivot point. And tomorrow is going to be a pretty telling factor as to where the market may go. You can also take a look at another leading indicators, SMH, the semiconductors. They were actually down while the S&P was up. So that's bearish. That's a bearish leading indicator. The transports, IYT, they're green, but just barely green. This looks ugly. If IYT breaks underneath 57.70, that could be super bearish for the market, and you could see stocks drop a lot. Okay. But one thing that is actually pretty bullish is Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a leading indicator, and Bitcoin's kind of just hanging out near the highs. We talked about that big support level from back over here, and it did hold that support very, very well. It also did a little bull flag and popped. One thing with Bitcoin that I'm looking at is there's probably going to be some resistance, probably at around like 100 to 103,000. And don't discount the fact that every market needs to trend. It doesn't need to always go up or always go down. Bitcoin could go in like a big sideways pattern for a number of months and maybe may break out later into the year. So stocks don't always have to go straight up. They don't always have to drop a lot. Sometimes they can just stay range bound. I still am long on IBIT, and I am starting to build a little bit of a short position on MSTR. But we talked about that IBIT leap call debit spread, where you can buy a call, sell a call. It's a cheap way to get exposure to Bitcoin. I'm risking about $500 to make and turn it into $1,500. So you only need $500 in your trading account and a margin account, and you can take some of these trades. Some other stocks that are doing really well, Netflix, all-time highs. Beautiful. It's tariff proof, you know? And if you miss the long on Netflix, that's totally cool. Just let it get oversold. And I'm looking at buying Netflix if it could find some support at about $1,000 per share. Okay. So 1,000, set some price alerts around that area. None of this is financial advice. I'm just telling you that I'm looking at that spot. So there's a potential trade idea. Google had really, really good earnings on its last report. The price chart is not really reflecting the positive.
It still dropped.
Yeah, it's dropping. It's dropping on lower volume. It's kind of showing a little bit of a hammer candle. So tomorrow's GDP report is going to affect this a lot. There's no trade setups on Google for me, but I think it can be a stock that is dollar cost averaged into. Okay. So DCA is the trade idea for Google. Tesla is really interesting. Tesla is just a straight up momentum stock. Tesla doesn't give a shit about fundamentals. It's just it's gonna do whatever it wants. Tesla's starting to break this little downtrend line. It's kind of high basing. There might be a bit of a trade setup if the market is bullish and green for Tesla to squeeze up another 12%. Price target is 325 if it does continue to squeeze. Otherwise, if the overall market's bearish, I'm just going to focus on shorting IWM, shorting Apple. Those are my go-tos for shorting in this market environment. Okay. Also, Microsoft reports earnings. I'm curious to see how they will do tomorrow. I'm going to do an AI earnings analysis for that on tomorrow. And we'll see if there's a high probability trade setup. It's not always perfect, but I found an edge trading earnings with AI. That's just me personally. So there's that. And then Berkshire. Berkshire, if this can get oversold, this is one of my top buy candidates. It's knocking on the door of all-time highs. So Berkshire, maybe a trade setup long over 539, stop 522, see if it can't make new all-time highs. Brandon, you've been on this for a while. Germany, EWG.
Yeah, man. I was going to ask you what's up with Germany.
I was too picky on my buy price. We were talking about it when it was at 37. I was saying, let's wait for a pullback. There's just no pullback. There's just none. That's okay though. If it breaks out to all-time highs, the volume's still trash. If this could, retest a former breakout area, that could be a potential dip buy.
I was going to bring up Germany, man. Like they fucking all-time highs today, right?
I believe so. All-time highs for Germany's stock market. Yep. And this
nobody's talking about this shit, but the victory talk.
I know, right? It's really impressive to see this. I mean, yeah, Germany looks great as long as it's really holding above like $35 per share. You can see some relative strength and outperformance. EWJ, Japan, that's knocking on the door of all-time highs.
Oh shit, man. That's a bearish sign.
That's a bullish sign. Bullish.
It's bearish for Earth because when Germany and Japan get together, listen.
Something's happening.
That's a trend. That's a negative trend. But these motherfuckers out here trying to get the band back together. I don't like that shit. I don't like them motherfuckers getting it popping at the same time. We need to make sure they're not in communication with each other.
I concur.
Yeah.
Something's going on behind the scenes. Something's going on, and you just want to pay attention. Man. And so foreign markets are doing pretty well. U.S. markets are doing okay for now. Be wary on both sides. In terms of other markets, one thing Ray Dalio talks about is you want to build an all-weather portfolio. You want to invest in uncorrelated assets. That just means the assets move independently of one another. They don't have to be inversely correlated.
That's one of his portfolios. He has the all-weather. He has a bunch of different portfolios. Yeah. That's one of them. He doesn't say that like that's an axiom.
Yeah. Definitely. It's just it's a good thing that he preaches though, because you increase your risk-adjusted returns if you can trade and invest in uncorrelated asset classes. So you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. You want to be diversified, but not so diversified that you just ruin all your gains. Because if you diversify too much, then you can't really make a crap ton of money. But one thing to consider is considering something like natural gas in a portfolio. We traded UNG and we got paid to buy UNG right at pretty much the dead lows. Boom. I took profits on UNG, but I think that moving forward, UNG is a good wheel candidate. So you can sell cash secured puts, get assigned, sell covered calls. Don't overstay your welcome. Just keep selling calls at $18 per share until called away. So that's a potential trade idea, an uncorrelated asset class. Another asset class that is moderately negative or just not correlated with the market is oil. So I'm actually bearish on oil. We've had this big base that we've had for a while, and we broke down underneath it. Okay, that's cool. Now it's starting to reject the former support, now resistance. That's confirming the downtrend in oil. And oil is interesting because when oil prices drop like this, that signals signs of a recession. So if you see the USO chart really start to get clapped, that's recessionary. On the other side of things, if oil prices are sky high and continuing a strong uptrend, that's inflationary. So you have purchasing power risk if oil is sky high. So oil right now is telling us that we're probably headed into a recession, if not in one. Now this gets even more interesting because the stocks really aren't reflecting that. Stocks are kind of just like, we're chilling. We're bouncing off of oversold. Are stocks going to catch up to oil, or is oil going to catch up to stocks? That's a divergence. One is going to catch up to the other. A hint towards where things might go is interest rates. Interest rates is another measure of inflation. How expensive is things getting? Are things getting? The TBT chart, this is our interest rate chart opposite of the TLT. And we just broke out of this range. Are we going to hold support right here? If we do, that means that bonds would sell off and interest rates would go up and inflation would go up. If this breaks down, that means inflation would go down and bonds would go up. So I'm watching this key support tomorrow, and that'll be telling of what might happen to the market.
So if bonds go up, you say it again.
So let's look at this on a TLT chart. The 20
TLT is the bonds, right?
Yep, TLT is the bonds. So if bonds are going up, this is where diversified bonds. Seriously, you can do the laddering strategy, the barbell strategy, the bullet strategy. I could get super nerdy with this.
Stay on track, brother.
when we're looking at TLT, if TLT, the bonds break this low, that would be super bearish for the market, because the debt market it's so important to the global economy. Everybody's loaning money out to each other. They loan money for businesses. They issue bonds to increase their working capital. If the bonds start to crash, the faith in the US government is dropping. So basically the TLT chart is the global faith in the United States government. Think of it like that. So the faith right now it's recovering a little bit, but if it takes out those lows, that'd be bearish. If it can stabilize, that's totally good. Okay.
All right.
Last thing that I'm watching is silver. So silver's kind of been lagging gold for a long period of time, but I'm looking at silver on the weekly. If it can take out these highs, I'm going to load up on call options. I've already got a decent call option position on silver, but if SLV can take out like 31.38, 31.80, I'd look for a move up to 34, 36. My end of the year price target on silver is $40 per share. Okay. All right. And calls are awesome. That's all I have.
You got some super chats, man.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's check it out. Oh, TTWO, Take-Two Interactive. GTA 6 is going to make my calls print. You're in a good stock right now, Marquez. This is a really good stock. Look, graph goes from bottom left to top right. Strong relative strength. Weekly breakout over 217. And it's continuing its uptrend. I don't want to tell you what to do, what to buy, hold, or sell. If I was in TTWO calls, I would just stick with them. Just understand that it has what's called systematic risk, where if the market just drops a lot, TTWO is going to drop a lot.
It seems like it's been pretty immune to like a lot of the volatility we've been experiencing. You're not immune, but like it hasn't really. It showed relative strength.
Definitely. And you can actually plot it objectively. You put up an RS indicator, relative strength compared to the SPX, the S&P 500. You can just see a nice steady Eddie uptrend. You want to be buying and investing in stocks that have a strong relative strength.
I actually like this one, man. I want to put it. I think I want to put it on my watch list, man.
Yeah, put it on your watch list.
Is this on new all-time highs today?
Yeah, new all-time highs today. New all-time highs yesterday.
I'm fucking with it, man.
Yeah, it's made new all-time highs for the past 4 days. It's a little bit overbought, but it's not terrible. I've seen. And they made
Grand Theft Auto. When does that come out? When does Grand Theft Auto 6 come out?
I'm no expert on that. Marquez, you can put it in the chat.
Marquez, like I fucking Nima showed it, man. You know what I'm saying? I had ChatGPT make a image of me and my girl in ChatGPT style. You know what I'm saying?
That's so good.
Yeah, man. So maybe I'm the cause reason it went.
Yeah, you're the reason.
I'm the reason that shit went to all-time highs.
You are. Maybe I would attribute you to it.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. I've seen stranger things have happened.
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what happens with GTA 6, how that impacts the stock too. Sometimes a stock can go up going into the release. GTA 6, and then the day it releases, the stock can dump.
Yeah, you can see that shit. You can see that shit. What about real quick? Speaking of, because I made some good money trading up to like it was video game shit. Like the releases are coming. I remember when during the pandemic there was like a new PlayStation or some shit. When did the last PlayStation come out? I don't know, but I was buying. Yeah, I was buying Sony fucking. Yeah, I was buying Sony calls up to that, and I think that worked out pretty well if I remember. So like now we got to think about what about Nintendo? That's a Japanese stock, right?
Yeah.
And you see how the Japanese market is doing. Just look at Nintendo right quick, Greg. Let's just
what we're looking at. Ticker symbol. I haven't traded this in a while. By the way, TTWO, if you missed on the way out, check out 218 as a potential dip buy. Okay, Nintendo.
You're gonna have to ask the robots.
I know, right?
You're gonna have to ask Skynet, man.
No, it's not NTDY. I should know this. I traded it back in the day, but it's not a super liquid stock, so I'm not frequenting it in and out. Let's just check this real quick.
What's the ticker symbol for Nintendo's?
Let's see if I can beat you.
It's NTDOY.
NTDOY. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I said NTDY. So I was close. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. People are gaming.
Come on, man. That's Nintendo. What you mean, man? You've been plotting this shit out. You've been fucking with this shit.
I'm always breaking down stocks for people.
Yeah, yo, man, it's all-time highs, man. We late. We missed it, man.
That's okay. If you missed it on the way out, you can catch it on the way back in.
Fuck.
I think that the market is going to give many buying opportunities throughout 2025. Just because the market's up a lot right now doesn't mean that it'll never be lower. There's a chance the market will never be lower. At any point in time, the price can be the highest or lowest it'll ever be, but most of the time you'll get a dip buy. NTDOY 18.6 is the dip buy. It does not have options. So
they don't have options?
No,
that's why we don't fuck with it.
Yeah. You can't cash
you got another super chat player.
Let's check it out. Yeah, good to see you, Sebastian. Can I give my opinion on MSTR? So
if I had a pet, I feel like Sebastian would been a good name for like an animal, like a pet. Like name you get yourself a cat or something, you name it Sebastian.
Yeah.
My last cat's name was George. I don't like giving pets like play names. I like giving them like real people names, man. Show them some respect, Like my last it was George Clooney Carter or Meow Mix Poppy on Instagram. That was his name, Meow Mix Poppy. I think you gotta show them motherfuckers respects, man. So like Sebastian is on my short list. A pet named Sebastian. Raul, you know what I'm saying? Raul for like a puppy. Yeah, like Raul, but it's a puppy. You know what I'm saying? The Brickishaw.
How do you determine whether it's a pet name or an animal name?
Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying?
Sounds?
No. There's all the pet names and people named are the same. That's why I named him George. Like I don't give him like motherfucking mittens or some fucking silly shit. Like, nah, man. It's like this he's not a fucking joke, man. He's one of God's creatures. You gotta show him some respect. All right, anyway, let's keep going. Well, what the fuck was we talking about?
So we're gonna talk about MSTR. So this is MicroStrategy or strategy. And MicroStrategy is usually just gonna be a leveraged version of Bitcoin. Michael Saylor, he's making his Bitcoin purchases. It's had an amazing run from the lows, 62% rally. This is kind of like a triple bottom where you have bottom, 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 and then you start to break the peak of that. MicroStrategy is a bit overbought right now, but it does have great relative strength. All that's really going to happen with MicroStrategy, the thing to pay attention to is earnings on May 1st. After May 1st, it's going to be up a lot or down a lot, probably by like 20% or more. So
how does this company make money? All they do is borrow money and buy Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, so
that's a business. Like, yo, Nima, loan me some cash, man. I'll buy some Bitcoin. That's a business. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
I believe that Michael Saylor gets a really good interest rate on his loans, and so as long as Bitcoin can stabilize or go up, he just racks in the cash for all the investors.
I mean, at some point they were doing this on NFTs. Like loans and like it was insane.
I don't know, man. This just sounds insane, bro.
That's a really good point.
I mean, I guess
it's important to just remember that leverage. It's great when times are great. It's awful when times are awful. He'll get margin called if Bitcoin breaks like 70K. I don't see that happening anytime soon, but he'll get margin called. The stock can drop a lot if Bitcoin drops. But for now, Bitcoin's doing just fine. So MicroStrategy is just chilling right now. Me personally, I think this is a bit overbought, a bit overextended. I'd rather just get involved with Bitcoin itself and trade MSTR maybe. But, there's support at 341. As long as that holds, this is a good uptrend. If it loses 340 and turns it to resistance, it's back in the volatility box and it can just flop back here. MSTR obviously is super bearish under 240, but that's a ways away.
All right.
So that's something to consider. And yeah, I really like that TTWO GTA idea because it's a perfect example of buy the rumor, sell the news. You know, when Disney was about to have an investor conference before they announced Disney Plus. And I was actually able to turn $300 into $3,000 the day they announced that. That was back in like 2018. I believe it was this breakout back over here. Yeah. Okay. Late 2019. But if Marvel releases a movie and it did way better than expected, Disney stock can benefit, you know? So think about news catalysts like that the general public may have an advantage on as opposed to institutional investors. You know, those guys in suits, they're not out there here watching Marvel movies.
You're not watching Marvel movies. Nobody's watching Marvel movies.
Oh, yeah, no.
No. People fucked with the Deadpool movie.
Yeah, they did a very good job with Deadpool.
I heard good things about the Thunderbolts. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I ain't gonna see it, but I heard good things. Yeah.
There might be a trade opportunity for the new Avengers movie.
That's what I'm saying.
Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom.
That's what I'm saying.
Cool. You know?
Yeah.
Something to think about. You know?
I'm just saying. All right.
What? Okay. Leonardo's asking, what do we think of the real estate market right now? It's really interesting because it's not really moving a lot of inventory. We can look at commercial real estate. This is XLRE. You can just see it's just kind of consolidating. Real estate.
XLRE is commercial real estate. I thought that was real estate in general.
No, it's commercial real estate only, not residential.
Got it.
Yeah. So real estate, from what I see, it's just fluctuating. It's not going up a lot, not down a lot. I think when it comes to real estate, you can look at REITs. You can look at VNQ. This is the Vanguard Real Estate ETF. So real estate investment trusts, they pool together investors' money and you get capital appreciation on the home and you can get rental income. They're super liquid. They're good for wheeling. ABR is one of them. So yeah, you know, I think when it comes down to real estate, like you really just want to make sure you're going to get a good deal if it's going to be for an investment, you know, make sure you're not overpaying, make sure you're not stretching yourself too thin, make sure you can handle the leverage that comes with real estate, unless you're buying a home straight out in cash. I do think it's okay to diversify your portfolio in real estate. If you don't own a home, just increase your exposure to real estate investment trusts, REITs.
All right, I got a question. That was the last super chat. I got one. Gold.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I went balls deep in gold before the last breakout. And I wanted to do I add to my position? Or what do you think? I bought futures contracts, swing trading futures contracts.
Gold is also in no man's land. We got lower highs, we got higher lows. Longer term, I'm bullish. Shorter term, this is a tricky spot to pick. Again, I like silver better than gold. I think silver has more room to run than gold.
Look at the futures. Look at the futures. Just because that fucking chart is so ugly. Like now, then when you look at the futures, bro, what are you seeing?
Same thing. Lower highs and higher lows. It's a pennant. One of these
a bullish pennant, no doubt.
Definitely. You know, there's two different ways to think about it. If you're measuring from this flagpole, it's definitely a bullish pennant. I'm leaning bullish, by the way, for the record. A bear is looking at this and seeing, drop, bear pennant, drop. But so what I would do is on GC, just set some price alerts over 3,400 and underneath 3,250. Whichever way it breaks, that's where the short-term direction is. But longer term, I'd be bullish gold. Still bullish gold. The entry point gets a little bit tricky. You can always dollar cost average into it or just get your MGC futures with a wide stop.
You can see right where you put that last time we talked about gold, right where you put that was your entry. It hit that shit and then it went up.
It did. For me, it was just like barely came in front of it. I didn't buy, but we were watching.
You were scared, man.
No, well, generally it's a zone.
I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you, man.
Yeah. Well, we can always take really good futures day trades in the morning lives with victory trades.
Matter of fact, if you guys want to trade with us, what you can do is, we have something called the Victory Trades is a program, right? And how you join it, you just go on our Discord, the Victory Unit Discord. It's free. There's a lot of cool stuff in there that's free, right? But if you want to trade with us, go in there and hit up Young Candlestick. Greg's be like, yo, I want to join Victory Trades. And you get Greg's trade alerts to your phone daily, right? And you can trade with us every morning. Yep. Right. Every morning. Like, Greg's in there every morning. I'm in there most mornings unless I'm like traveling. Like I was on a flight this morning during market open. Hey, you know how I go. But I'm gonna be on tomorrow. You want to trade with us, man? Hit up Greg. You can trade live, man. We trade futures. I trade only NQ futures. Greg trades everything, but we on there, man. We answering questions. We helping. It's a good time. Good way to start your day, man. Making some money.
Yeah, we have a great time. Our only goal is to just make money together with the least amount of risk. That's basically it. And if you are brand new to stocks, you don't know what's going on, I do have beginner courses, options courses, and
they're in there. You get them when you join Victory Trades, right? That's part of your membership, you know.
The intellectual property of Victory
Come on now.
Trades.
Come on now. Hey man, thank you, Greg. Appreciate it, brother.
So I would be bullish gold, but on a longer time horizon. Short term, it's dicey. It's just kind of consolidating. The dollar will be a big hint as to where gold goes next.
So we gambling right now, right?
Or you could just steer clear of the position, wait for the probabilities to line up, boom, then strike. Strike that gold.
All right. So should I hold my position? I'm green.
This is not financial advice. I personally would hold the position, but wait to average up. Wait to average up. That's not financial advice. Make sure you have your risk set.
All right. Let's go.
All right. Take care, Brandon. See you, Victimators.
I appreciate it. Oh, well, never mind.
Oh, okay. Bye-bye.
All right, later. Yo, I think there's another super chat.
We have Bullish Ivan.
What up, homie?
What do you think about starting a separate YouTube channel for finance? I have experience in it, and YouTube seems to favor finance more than fitness coaching. What does better on Instagram?
What? What do you? Neiman's got some shit he wants to say. You say Faceless?
I was gonna say, like, man, right now, Faceless finance YouTube channel is like it's hit or miss, but you're definitely gonna hit if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's hit or miss, but you're definitely gonna hit.
You're gonna hit. Like, let's say you do 10 videos, 1 or 2 are gonna do well, and that's all you need. It's I know a couple of Faceless channels are doing fantastic.
Yeah, you can start a new one. Yeah, man. Faceless. Why Face? What is it about Faceless?
You can automate it with AI. You can automate it, and people trust better when it's like generic, not one specific person. It's just super easy to scale. Yeah, it's just the whole thing.
What?
You have Hagen, you have all of that, so it's just
that's wild, man. They got robots doing YouTube with no face robot YouTube channels, man. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, start another channel, I guess. You know, because if you want to finance has some of the highest CPMs, right? So you get paid more per view on a finance channel than you want on a fitness channel. Like, so different niches pay you more, right? And even within like the videos, like if we make more money from AdSense, a video about making money than I will about a fitness video. Like if I make the same money off fitness videos that I make on finance videos, I wouldn't do nothing else. I wouldn't have stopped making fitness videos. Nah, we put one out the other day, you know. But yeah, no, that should be insane. You know. Oh, you're muted, unmuted, so he can hear.
If you have the resources, because it's resource intensive, so you either need to put lots of time to manage and create and curate the content, or you need to have access to like editing team and VAs.
He's probably just gonna do it himself, man. He probably got more time than money, man. Yeah. Can you do it one man?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, 100%. If you got a bunch of fucking hours in the day, yeah,
100%. It's 100% doable, and there are a whole bunch of free YouTube videos just showing you how to.
Tons of them. All right, bro. I like to see you bullish eye, man. I want to see, man, whatever, real nigga fitness or real nigga finance. Yo, that's what I think. I haven't, correct me if I'm wrong, but you know how like there's no like hood version of finance. You know, there's hood tech reviews, right? There's a dude like there's like a hood version of Marquez Brownlee, MKBHD. It's a hood version. This dude I know from he live in Brooklyn. Is my boy Flossie Carter, and he's like, he's like a hood version. There's no hood finance shit. Let's correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just saying. A hood unboxing. That's what I'm saying. We like listen. We ain't got hood finance. Real nigga finance. Hey man, hey. You see the wheels? You see what I'm thinking? You know, you think what I'm thinking?
You need to diversify your bonds, nigga.
Yeah. All right. What was there another super chat?
And then we have MJ Brandon. You need to lock in.
Oh yeah, I was going a little crazy in the beginning. He sent €2. What is that? Is that a euro or a pound? The fuck is that? It's a euro. Who gives a fuck? Nah, but thank you, man. Appreciate it. All right, let's get back into the content. All right, so earlier we were talking about the weapons of influence, right? The things is part of a bigger. Well, I was talking about the 20. What was the name of the shit? The 21 secrets to get people to buy anything from you, and we are on number 10. So I'm almost halfway through. I've been doing this shit for like fucking 3 weeks in a row. All right, we got this though. We got this. I'm gonna run through them. I'm gonna get through it. All right. And I was talking, and I've been breaking it down from different books. Right. So the first book I went through was the one sentence persuasion course. Then now I'm going through Influence by Robert Cialdini. Right. And let's get back into it. So the next weapon of influence from Dr. Cialdini is authority. Right? Authority. In fact, he gave some examples of studies how people are more likely to buy like a medication, over-the-counter medication, if a doctor was in the commercial, right? Because people trust authority figures, right? Like even the president listens to his doctor. You know what I'm saying? A king is going to listen to his doctor. You know what I'm saying? Because they have authority, right? So the kind you got to make sure you have, but it doesn't necessarily have to be just like a doctor. It can be there's more subtle ways there's more subtle ways to demonstrate authority. For example, there was a study in the book where they had a guy dressed in regular clothes. He looked like everyone else, and he would cross the street before he had the light. And they were trying to see how many people walked with him, right? When he was wearing regular clothes, some people walk with him, but not everybody would do it. When they put this guy in a sharp ass suit, like a business suit, and then he went in the same street, same guy, same guy, same street, just a different suit. He was dressed in clothing that conveyed authority, and then he went across the street. Almost more than twice as many people started crossing the street when they saw a motherfucker with a suit do it. Personally, when they saw that, right? So there's different ways to, and this was to demonstrate that people are really influenced by authority, right? So how does this work? How do you do this, right? Well, you see in the fitness industry, right? There's a lot of guys who got really popular on YouTube. I'm thinking like Jet Nipper and guys like that. When they would, instead of just saying something, they would show you the science, right? Now, I could say the same shit. In fact, sometimes I would say the same shit, right? And we were like, oh, that's bro science. And I'm like, oh, man, nah, I'm just not on some nerd shit, right? But Jeff, that's my, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way towards Jeff. I fucks with him. I'm a subscriber. I'm a fan. He'll say the same shit, but then show a study, and then people are like, "Oh yeah, I guess so." That's because when Jeff came on the scene, he was saying a lot of the same shit I was saying, but he would put some studies on the screen, and people like, "Oh, same motherfuckers who were talking, man, that's bro science, man. Shut up." you fucking bald, right? Or just say anything, right? he's not even married. He'll say shit like wild shit, right? But if Jeff says that he throws the study out, and this motherfucker could have threw up anything. You motherfuckers wasn't reading. You were not out here fact checking Jeff. But the fact you just see threw it on the screen, it could be anything, right? And he was like, oh, okay. So that's when I said, fuck it, man. I started doing that shit too. Just because I saw how it was more convincing. I learned that from Jeff. I stole that from Jeff, So when I say some shit, I typically, some fitness shit, I typically do my best to put up, as you see, a lot of times I typically do my best to put up a study to prove it, and but that's one thing you could do, right? Also, when it comes to marketing your product or service, though, what you can do, how do I put this? A lot of times companies will do is they might do some clinical trials if it's an ingestible like supplement or medicine. They talk about they'll have clinical trials, but you ain't out here making medicine, dude. Let's get real, right? So for your product, you might want to have. How could a regular guy use authority? All right, so one, you can become an authority. Right. So one thing I tell my students who I teach to grow their online fitness business is, any credibility markers that you have, you should show them, right? Because it gives you authority and people will believe you more. So if you're in great shape, you need to actually show your body, no diddy, right? Because people need to believe it, right? When I'm doing a fitness video, I got my shirt off, I might even spray some fucking shit on myself to make myself look like I'm sweating. I might look like I'm sweating like a whore in church, right? But the temperature is fine. But I want my muscles to glisten, right? So you're like, oh, this guy might know what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I get guys who are in the military, and I'm like, yo, you in the military? Why don't you have that shit Army vet in your bio? That's a credibility marker, man. Now you're not just some fucking guy. You an ex-Marine, right? You want to show any kind of credibility, or you can be next to people who have credibility. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So like when Nima is trying to sell his video edit and shit, he was like, yo, I worked with Brandon Carter, and people were like, Brandon Carter, you worked with Brandon Carter?
That is very close to reality of what actually happened.
Dudes be like, oh shit, you won't believe it. I'm talking to somebody who knows Brandon Carter. Ah! And if he's talking to a girl, she's like, oh my God, you know Brandon Carter. Ah! And she starts DJing right in front of him. She starts mixing. I'm assuming that's what happens. I'm not there. That's how it happens in my brain. And you'll see this when like a lot of brands, big brands, they'll get, like Nike will get an athlete, right? It's one thing if Nike says their shoes are awesome, right? But if Ja Morant says those shoes are fucking awesome, then it's like, all right, cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if you want to do it. If I was Smith & Wesson, I'd get John Morant to endorse. I'd give him his own signature. Give him his own signature. 9mm, right? Or like Shaq, Shaq endorsing anything, right? Because he's an NBA champion, all that shit, MVP, Olympian, all that shit, right? And he fat, right? So when Shaq say, when a rich motherfucker say this Papa John pizza is lit, I'm a believer, man, because Shaq's big, fat, rich ass can eat, you know what I'm saying? He can get the best shit. Right? He ain't got to eat no bullshit pizza. Shaq said, this rich fat boy said that shit. Oh, that Shaqaroni pizza must be delicious. right? That's what people think, you know. Or you see with fitness brands, you know, they'll have an they'll have they pay influencers, right? To do that's they're trying to get credibility or authority because they get people who have authority in that space, right? Yo, Nemo, like, you Adidas and Kanye. I'm like, yeah. Yeah. Right. So it has authority, right? But it can work the opposite. I mean, you never see this, but you want to make sure that the people have credibility if you attach your brand to someone else or yourself, right? You want to have credibility, right? Like if Nick Cannon was out here endorsing contraception, you know, I'd be like, that's the shit I need to stay away from. You know what I'm saying? That's the shit I need to stay away from, man. Fuck that shit. Right. All right. So, but authority, if you can attach authority to your product or service, either by you becoming the authority, maybe you need to get more credibility marketers for yourself, right? Get it. If you got a degree or you got, you know, whatever it is, you want to have credibility, as much credibility as you can get, and or bring in other people to endorse your product that has credibility, or get evidence from credible people. These would be like academic studies, shit of that nature. All right. Now, the next weapon of influence from Cialdini is scarcity, right? People want what they can't have. You know, people want what they can't have, and they don't appreciate things that are in abundance, right? This is why, you know, a lot of like luxury watch brands, they'll limit production. They could make more Richard Milles, right? Right. Rolex could make more Rolex. Rolex makes a lot of Rolexes, right? You know, but the fact that there's scarcity and they make these watches, like watch brands do it really good, much to my chagrin. They make it difficult to buy, right? It's difficult to just go in to Richard Mille or Rolex and just buy a Rolex. I know, I tried. It like took me a minute to get one, right? They do this. Someone said the Rock of hair products. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, it's a real thing. Yeah, but he's fucking trolling us, right? But I'm sorry, the watches, right? So it's difficult to buy, right? Like if you go on Rolex, you want to get a fucking Yachtmaster or like a cool watch. You want to get yourself a Yachtmaster, or you want to get yourself one of the new Land Dwellers, right? You're gonna fucking laugh at you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I went in there, I was trying to get the titanium Yachtmaster, and it was a year after it came out. And then the people at Rolex, they said, man, it's gonna be a while. We're gonna put you on a wait list, but you might be on it for years. I haven't even seen one of those in person, is what she said. Like she works at the Rolex store, the Rolex shop. And so it's the scarcity, and that makes it more valuable. And then you can see on the resale market, people who are selling used ones, watches are like the only, because of the scarcity, watches are like the only thing that costs more used. Like a used one might use off the market one, a used gray market watch will cost more than retail, because you can't just go buy it retail. It's different. You got to have relationships with the ADs. You got to have relationships with the owners, right? So scarcity is something you can do to really, it's something you can utilize to really get people to want things more, right? So it's a lot of it. You'll see other companies do this even on Amazon. Sometimes you'll go on Amazon and they'll say only 3 left. Hurry. You ever seen that shit? You probably bought that shit right away. I know I have. That shit could be a lie. It doesn't have to, and I'm not saying you should lie, right? But I'm just saying that shit works. Like the scarcity, people want what they can, and they don't appreciate what you can get, what they can get easily. For example, I think Cartier makes great watches, fantastic watches, but you can just go in the store and buy a Cartier, right? They don't have the same kind of manufacturer scarcity, right? It's still the number 2 watch brand in the world, so they're doing great for themselves. But as a result, a used Cartier is less than a used gray market secondhand Cartier is significantly less than a retail Cartier because you could just go in the store and buy a Cartier, right? You know what I'm saying? I've done it, mad time. But a Rolex is going to be above retail most of the time, you know, and it's all because of scarcity. Like it's all because of scarcity. This is why fucking diamonds are so expensive, right? Like they look nice, right? But the truth is, it's just scarce and difficult to get, and they take fucking thousands of years to make. Natural diamonds take thousands of years to make, right? And that's why lab diamonds are cheap, right? If you get lab diamonds where they're making them in the lab, you can get that. They make them in a day, and they can make unlimited supply of them, so it's cheap, right? Just because, but they're almost identical in structure, right? But because one is scarce, it's more expensive, right? Scarcity. So how do you do that with your product or service? Well, I tell my students to take advantage of that, right? You know, you want to really, for example, I teach people how to grow their online fitness business. And one of the things I teach them to do is to actually say how many spots you have left. If you, hey man, I only got 5 spots left, right? Say it's the truth, because you can't train an unlimited amount of people unless, of course, you start hiring coaches underneath you, which a lot of my students do. My students who make like big money, like the students who make, you know, over $1 million a year, they have coaches who work underneath them. But, you know, the ones who are making, you know, okay, the average, the ones who are making like, you know, tens of thousands of dollars per month, right? They're doing it all themselves, and they can't take unlimited amount of people unless they start adding to their business, adding employees, right? Which I teach them how to do once they get there, because the average online trainer can only manage about 50 clients successfully, right? Before things start getting out of hand and they have to start hiring people. So start saying it, man. If you got 45 clients, say, man, I got 5 spots for online training. When people say shit like that, they really fill up, because people are like, oh, it's scarce now. They want it now. You get what I'm saying? They want to do it. And matter of fact, if you guys want to learn more about how to grow your online fitness business, I actually have a free ebook called The 10 Commandments of Online Training, and it'll show you how to do it. You know, hit the link in the description. Right now, you can download it for free, and it really just give you a lot of game on how to grow your online fitness business, how to grow your following, how to stand out amongst a crowded market, right? And this is even if you don't have a big following, even if you're not certified, even if you don't have a lot of experience, it will show you. It will really give you the game on how to get it popping, right? But scarcity is something that you definitely want to utilize. It has to be true, right? If you're a brand new online trainer, it's like, or, you know, if you got a bunch of inventory, you can't lie, right? But if you only got a few left, they need to know that. They need to know that, you know, even if you're going to get more later, hey man, there's only a few left. Yeah, you get more, right? But let them know there's only a few left. Like, you don't have to lie. Some people will lie, but I advise against lying in marketing. All right. Oh, hold on. I think we got into the super chat. Let me just answer that.
We have Mendoza just joined HTT in the in the makeover madness phase with 40 pounds to lose. Stuck on content. Should I post fat loss meals or daily vlogs? Doubt anyone wants to see a heavy guy bench 300 pounds. Please help on what content to post.
Yeah, man. What's up? Yo, first of all, congratulations. Welcome. You know, watch some of the replays when I talk about content. Right. You know, it's in the training. Maybe like it was like the last few weeks I talked about content. I know Brian did the training today because I was on a flight, but yeah, nobody wants to see anybody lift weights, right? Like that's just not good content. That's just not good content at all. Nobody just wants to see you do an exercise, right? They want to learn something. They want to get they want to learn. So if I was you, I would take people on your journey, man. I'd be like, all right, man, join. You say you lose 40 pounds. Yo, man, I think vlogs would be fucking great for you, man. Like here's day 2 of me of my road to lose 40 pounds, right? Yo, so I'm right. You know, today I got on the scale. I thought it would be really cool if you made like almost like a soap opera out of it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do daily vlogs. You do like here. I mean, here's week 1 of me, my journey to lose 100 pounds, right? 40 pounds, right? Boom. Give them an update week 2. Give them an update week 3. Give them an update week 4, right? It it just walk them down that journey, man. I think that'd be real cool. And I think what's going to happen is you're going to start galvanizing people. Like people are going to get excited about watching your progress. And then at the end, you sell them how you did it, right? I mean, if you need to lose 40 pounds, hit me up. I'll coach you and you can do exactly what I did. And what's going to happen is you're going to have like instant credibility because you did it. So one of the issues I had when I was trying to help people lose fat is I never been fat. I never been fat, right? So I had to get testimonials from other people. But when you can use your own testimonial, that's way more powerful because, I mean, other people's testimonials are really good too, right? But when you have your own testimonial, then it kind of shows them that you understand them, you know what they're going through. You know what I'm saying? You can relate to them, right? And it'd be, you're losing 40 pounds. If you've been fat, you lose 40 pounds. That's relatable. That's exactly what they want to be. Like a guy who needs to lose 40 pounds, he might look at me and be like, it's not even, I know how this sounds arrogant, but he might not even think like it's possible for him to look like this, right? But you did exactly what he wants to do. You know what I'm saying? So he can relate to you better, right? And like I talked about liking, they'll like that about you. You'll inspire them. And then you have instant credibility because you did it. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I think you document the whole thing. It's going to be super, super effective. That's what we talk about in Makeover Madness. I think vlogging it daily, if you got that kind of bandwidth, but at least weekly, like a weekly vlog about it, how you did it. And man, that'd be fantastic. But then even in between those, you could talk about, hey man, here's me on my journey to lose 40 pounds. Here's what I eat every day, right? So my goal, right? And explain, what you're eating one day, right? You can explain your calories, you can explain your workouts. There's all types of shit you can do. And you want to talk, your focus is about the journey, your journey to lose 40 pounds. That's all you need to be doing during this Makeover Madness session. Just talking about your journey and what you're doing to do it and give them updates. Right. So when you're halfway through, man, all right, here's me on my journey to lose 40 pounds. I've already lost 20. Here's what I ate every day to lose the first 20. Boom. And you can that's a video. You know what I'm saying? Here's the workout I did to lose 20 pounds. I still got 20 more to go, but here's how I lost that first 20 in fucking 2 months. Right. Boom. And then you can show them like that's a video right there. I'm coming up with the shit off the top of my head, homie. I can do this shit all day. But yeah. I like it, man. Shout out to you, homie. Let's get it. I'll make sure you're on the call next Tuesday, right? And if you have some content by then, I can review it on the call in HTT because that's what we do here, man. We want to see you succeed. All right. The next one is another thing. I don't know if I want to get into it right now because then it's going to be weird. Okay, I think this is a good. I think I can tackle this. All right, listen, guys, we're gonna end a little early today. Because the next shit I want to say is going to take longer than 10 minutes. All right. So we're going to finish this shit on. No, we're not. Oh, I'm not going to be here I'm not doing this on Thursday. Yeah, I'm going to be in it. You don't know that. Yeah, I'm going to be in Atlanta. Yeah. All right. Anyway. So I'll see y'all on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. All right.